All right, so 8-5 notes. 8-5 is factoring x squared plus bx plus c. And our learning objective is to factor trinomials of the form x squared plus bx plus c. So one thing I want you to note is there's no number, no coefficient in front of x squared. Our essential understandings is that you can write some trinomials as, I want to change this to products. As a product of two binomials. Trinomials means you have three terms like this, so that's x squared is 1, 3x is the second one, and 2 is the third one. So because it's 3, like a tricycle, it gets to be called a trinomial. And we can write it as a product of two binomials, which binomials means two like a bicycle. X is 1, plus 1 is the other. That's a binomial, times x plus 2. And let me show you how that works. Is if I multiply, you know I'm a fan of FOIL. So that when you FOIL it out, you get x squared plus 1x plus 2x plus 2. Come on over there. And then you get x squared plus 3x plus 2. So you can write it in factored form. So on your paper for this next problem, I want you to write down this question here. What is the factored form of x squared plus 12x plus 32? To write the factored form, you're looking for two numbers that multiply to give you 32 and add to give you 12. So until you guys get super savvy on how to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to make a little table. So on your table, and I want you to write down this table. So on the top of your table, you're going to write factors of 32 and sum of factors. So what times what equals 32? I always look for the 1 times the number. So there's 1 in 32. But 1 plus 32 is 33. There's 2 in 16, but 2 plus 16 is 18. And we want our numbers to add up to be 12. So once we get to 4 and 8, 4 plus 8 is 12. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. This is our factor. So we're going to highlight 4 and 8. So we know that x squared plus 12x plus 32 is equal to x plus 4 and x plus 8 multiplied together. So the 4 came from here, and the 8 came from here. Because when I FOIL it out, you're going to get 4x plus 8x, and that's going to get this 12x for you. All right, so we're going to do a problem that actually has a negative value. So what is the factored form of x squared minus 3x minus 40? So in this case, our table has to have factors of negative 40. So 1 times negative 40, and here's, if you look at your scenario up here, we are negative 3x, so the bigger number needs to be negative in order to get the negative 3x. So that's why when you're, because it could be negative 1 times positive 40, but we know we want to end up with a negative at the end of the day. So if we go 1 and negative 40, that gives us negative 39. 2 and negative 20, that gives us negative 18. We're aiming for negative 3. 4 and negative 10, that's negative 6, so we're getting closer. And then we have it. The reason we don't have more after this is because we found it. So 5 and negative 8, when you add those together, it will give you negative 3. So then you rewrite. Put an x in the front, x in the front. 5 is positive, 8 is negative. And we're going to do a check. Please be careful. If it asks you to do a check of your answer, then you guys have to FOIL this back out. I'm going to do the check in box method so that you guys can see that one more time. Just because I'm a fan of FOIL doesn't mean everybody has to be a FOIL fan. So x and 5. X and negative 8. X times x is x squared. X times negative 8 is negative 8x. 5 times x is 5x. And 5 times negative 8 is negative 40. Write them all together. X squared minus 8x plus 5x minus 40. You get x squared minus 3x minus 40. That checks out with our original problems.